Alright, so this is what I've decided. I am going to replace the OEM exhaust, right? I am going to put the Invidia equal length, of course the one from the factory is unequal length. I'm going to put the equal length header, and my favorite thing to do is I'm going to wrap it, put some new gaskets, and use some hose clamps to put everything together. So I'm going to set up the camera. Now that I have everything out, I'm actually going to show you. So the only bolts you're gonna have to take off is, of course, or the nuts is 14 millimeter, 14 millimeter, 14 millimeter, 14 millimeter, 14, 14. And then over here, it's also, I think it's another 14 on each side here, or 12, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So it's these two, and then basically the header comes off. On this OEM one, did not have any heat shields on it, so you might have to take off some heat shields. I think there's like 10 millimeter bolts also. There's like one here, they're kind of all over the place. I have no clue where mine are at, and I really don't care, so I'm just gonna replace this old clunker for this new stainless steel piece here. So kind of looks actually like the diameter looks about the same. We might have to get a measurement there, but just a smoother path, smoother pipes. So we're gonna heat wrap it because I don't like heat. The last thing that I would probably recommend for you to get if you're gonna be doing this is one of these O2 sensor removal pieces. I haven't taken this one off yet. I just unplugged it because I didn't feel like dealing with it while I was underneath the car. But it's just a little slit like this. See if I can get it in. Well, you know what I mean. Let me see if I can show a better way of doing this. No struggling. There we go. Boom. And you just take it off, and that's it. So I'm gonna take that off. I'll put it on the new one. I'll start wrapping it, and I'm gonna set up the camera. So we'll put it in and see how it looks afterwards. Now we'll go put this one on the other one over here, and we will wrap it, or we'll do them separately, one or the other. We'll get it. Okay, so we are back now after maybe like 4 or 5 days of struggling with the exhaust manifold. We finally have it ready. Let me show what it looks like. Yep, finally wrapped it. I used metal twine, I used hose clamps, I used a bunch of stuff, but it finally looks ready to be installed. So now I'm just gonna mount up the camera, and then I'm gonna install the O2 sensor. And then after I install the O2 sensor, I'll meet you back on the floor so I can install the exhaust manifold, and then I can maybe do some before and after pictures. Let me get started. Okay, I had already loosened it off of the OEM one. I unplugged it completely. So let's just get it off. There we go. I unplugged it also, make it a little easier. So now let's just put it on the new one. I have my new tool here, and then we will get it installed. I got some new Grimmspeed gaskets. Should make it installed a little easier. So now let me see if you can see what I'm doing here. Nope, not really. Okay. Now this is definitely easier with the whole O2 sensor unplugged instead of trying to install it while it's underneath the car. Done that before, not fun. Not fun whatsoever. Just gonna put it a little tight, and once it's underneath the car, it's already bolted down. I can, what's it called? Try to get it a little bit tighter since I don't have a way of holding this right now. I don't want to get too tight and break it, but okay. Should be good enough. So now let me meet you underneath the car somewhere over there.
Alright, so we got some Grimmspeed gaskets right here, one for the up pipe and one or two for the header to the block itself.
Okay, I got my 14 here. Let me see if I can get to some of these hard to reach spots. put them just snug, hand tight, just so I can see which ones I can actually get to, and which ones I can't get to, because it's gonna be a little complicated. For like this one here in the center, I don't know if you can see here. And this one here, I'll go back and show you which one I had a hard time with, and then basically the ones in the center are gonna be the hardest ones to get to on both sides. So now that everything's been tightened down, I can actually show you what I was bolting. It's a little hard to see, but there's one there, there's one over there, and then there is one there. Okay, so that's the 3 on that side. And then on this side, you got the 1, the 2, and then if you kind of see it on an angle, hopefully the camera can allow me to show you, right there, 3, right? And then you have, sorry, it's a little confusing, the 2 on this side, on each side. So now what I already did was I actually tightened the O2 sensor over here on this side. And let me go on top of the car so you can see what I'm talking about. I plugged in the O2 sensor to this spot right here. So now that that's all done, we can finally put on our new gasket right there, this one, to replace this old nasty brown gasket there. So yeah, let me mount the phone and let's get to working. Okay. By the way, the one on the Silver ST at the 3 bolts, man, that one is a nightmare. Those of you who know me know how much I've struggled with that in the past. Ultimate pain in the rear. These two seem a whole lot easier. Okay. I think I should have ordered new nuts for this one too. Let me go find another one. I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this here to tighten this, put it hand tight, and then figure out how I'm gonna get to this other side over here. Nope, I might need an extension or something, or maybe a ratcheting, maybe just a wrench for now. I think it's the same issue we had in the silver car. Let me figure out how I'm gonna get there. All right, I think I figured it out. 14 deep socket with maybe like a 4.5 inch extension or however long that is. From up here, can get it pretty good. Okay. And then from here, and after that, we are all done and have to figure out what is our next step in this project. So once I verify this is all cleaned up, I'll go back to the top and show where we're at, and then yeah, we'll move forward from there. So let me go back up on top. Alrighty, let's get one final view here. Looks pretty good. Now you can see the wrapped header, exhaust manifold, whatever, equal length, the wrapped downpipe down there. So what's left on this list, right? So let's get to it. You may have seen in a previous video, which we'll link somewhere, but the CV boot's pretty much gone. It was leaking grease all along the downpipe, so we're gonna replace that before we even get to driving. There's still an oil leak here. I want to make sure it's not from the oil that we were messing around with. But let me come up on top and show you where we're at, and then tell you what's next to come. So this is where we're at on this assembly build, whatever you want to call it. So we haven't finished the air oil separator yet. All we have to do is once we put the intercooler back on, we need to cut it and connect it right here. We kind of messed up. This is what we call this no winning. Actually, we really messed up. But we cross-threaded the crap out of that. So once we get a tap and try to correct that and suck out all the metal shavings, we're gonna put that back on. Excuse me, turbo back on there. And then yeah, then the CV boot, and we should be good to drive pretty good. We do have some other parts. I've been actually stocking and restocking my shelf. So you can see there, we've actually been adding more and more and more. So expect a lot more parts. This was actually half empty the last time. After we installed the air oil separator, after we installed the heat shield, after we installed the turbo blanket, after we installed the header, or the exhaust manifold, the downpipe, air oil separator. So the pitch stop mount, there's a lot many more to come. So we hope you liked the video. I know the last couple of videos have been a little funky, a little weird. Not gonna lie, it was a little complicated, a little difficult to get a lot of the installs that were being done by myself, and remembering when to record, when not to record, when to do a recap, when not to do a recap, when to do an entry, when not to do an entry. So going forward, all the videos should be a little bit better, a little more organized, a little more planned out. But I hope you like this one. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you like the video, help us out, give us a thumbs up, and continue watching for more to come. The car is not done yet. Even when the car is done, we are actually going to be moving on to the silver car. So there's plenty of projects to see. So make sure to watch out for a video every single Friday. So thank you for watching.